Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Sundayberries. Today, we're going to be working on something different, and this is because I have absolutely no inspiration. And what I do when I feel uninspired or have nothing to say or have nothing to paint is just basically improvise and react to the first lines that I draw. And so that's what we're going to do because I really do feel that sometimes we all go through things like this, especially when you're going through something really difficult in life. So that is why we're going to try and do something relaxing and at the same time that has no beginning and no end because we don't know what we're going to do and also we don't know how it's going to come out. This is usually what I do. I sometimes take a pencil, draw some lines, and then react to what I have drawn. Other times I just go in and make a mess, which is absolutely fine when you're going through something like this. It's also very good that you take where you're going to be working, divide it in spaces so you can just create a series which will allow you to perhaps at some point go back to them and see something that you truly like. What we're going to do today is something that has nothing to do with any expectations of any kind. Your materials will be your watercolors, your brushes. It can be anything or any brush that you have. Perhaps your Posca pens in black and white. I also do have FW Dollar Brownie ink in white, or you could use your gouache. We're going to be working with abstract. What we're going to do is just relax and take your pencil and simply go around from one space to the other and simply just create something like this or the way it's going to come out for you. No thought was put into this, so this is completely spontaneous, and what we're going to do is react to this. With that done, we can also start with your Sharpie or your Posca pen. In this case, this is going to be my Posca, and what you want to do is just go around and draw something or line something. It really does not matter what you're going to do. What matters is that you're placing a mark on the paper. Again, it's something that really does not need to be anything in particular. What you want is to place something on your paper, your workspace. Just place down some random marks. You can also use other materials, for example, perhaps your colored pencils. I'm going to keep it simple and use my watercolors, my pens, my Posca pens, and the additional whites that I will probably be using so I don't make a really muddy space here. That's another thing to consider when you're doing an exercise like that. Try to have colors that will not create mud. What I mean about that is to choose your colors wisely, because if you know that complementary colors are going to create mud, you will want to avoid those. So right now, what I'm going to use is this dagger brush. This is by Princeton, and I've never used it. I've had it, and I like the fact that it could give me a really interesting shape. So we're going to use that. Also have your towel or paper towels around so you can clean your brushes. And what I'm going to do is respecting the rules of watercolor. What I want to start with is my lightest color. So I'm going to start with a yellow ochre. And I am going to dilute this as much as possible so I don't go in too dark in the beginning. And what you want to do is place it in all your 4 areas in different. And see, these little marks are really good. I don't know if you can see them, but the brush created some marks, and those are really interesting to me. So that's already feeding into my imagination at the moment. So right now we have our first layer. Well, this would be, if we count the pencil, the Sharpie, this would be our 3rd layer, but the first of color. Now what we want to do is allow this to sit a little. Look at your workspace and think about what you want to do next. So I am thinking that I will want to add a little bit of green, and this is olive green. I'm working today with M. Graham watercolors because I added a few extra colors to this palette, and so I decided to use it. I'm going to go in and just add that color in. So as you can see, it's not too different from the yellow that we've added. And at the same time, it's an extra layer of color that we're going to be using here. And again, we're keeping this very, very subtle, very light, very simple, just taking one thing at a time, one step at a time, not going crazy, not overdoing anything at the moment, just laying down color and allowing the color to almost dry. As you can see here, I'm creating here a certain texture because it touched the yellow and it spread a little more because it was still not fully dry, but it's still creating a second layer on top of it. So that's nice. So we're going to allow this to dry and we're going to come back to it and continue working. So we do want to leave white in the paper. It's not a must. If it gets covered, it gets covered. It really doesn't matter, okay? So don't stress too much about it. I'm going to come in with a little bit of Indantrum blue. And the colors, again, doesn't matter as long as you're not creating mud. Since I am staying within the yellows and the greens and blues, that's fine. It's not going to be a bad choice, okay? So I do want this blue a little bit stronger than what we have so we can start creating some contrast. And we're going to just place it where you feel like you need to. Again, if you look at the way I have given the stroke of the brush, it's very quick and also light, so we can get traces of empty space. So this is how we start creating our texture. Right now, we really do need to allow this to dry, so I'm going to be right back. So this is not fully dry yet, but I decided to play around with the next colors that I want to use. I'm thinking that maybe a darker blue would be nice. And as you can see, I have changed the brush. This is a simple round brush, and what I want to do is just create some marks. They don't necessarily have to be very strong or particular, but you just want to place it in different areas of the painting. I like that one. So you see, you start getting motivated by the painting itself. So that's what we're after. I'm going to add a little bit of that yellow ochre and also nickel azo yellow to see if it lightens a little bit. We're getting this really earthy green. And I really want it diluted, so. And just to have something different, what we're going to do is just add the water. And we're going to drop it in and allow it to play and do its thing. So you place the water and you allow it to do its thing, basically. If you need to fix something, you do it and just play around. And let's see what we want here. If you get a chance to go over something that you've already painted, that would be good as well, simply because you're going to darken the area. Although I must say that sometimes it doesn't work quite like what we want. So we'll have to see what happens. And let's see. I'm going to do it right here. All right, so far it's looking good in my eyes, so we're going to allow this to dry, and let me just get a little bit of movement here. There we go. And let's wait and see. I mean, we have nothing to lose. This is something that should inspire us as we go along. We are not expecting a masterpiece. So please take that weight off your mind and simply create something. And again, the beautiful thing about this is that as you go along, the shapes and the forms that you're getting done on the paper, they are working in your favor because they are giving your imagination fuel to continue. So again, very simple, very easygoing, very relaxed. And we are going to allow the watercolors to do what they do. And that is that beautiful see-through quality that they have. For example, here, you see how this green made the blue a little bit darker. And that's what we want to see as well. And of course, you can always still see the marks that were done during the beginning of this session. So we're going to allow this to dry and we're going to start thinking about what our next move is going to be. If you feel, for example, that what you've done is enough, you can stop right there and you don't have to continue. And perhaps whatever you have has sparked your imagination enough to go into a bigger paper or a larger experimentational piece. And that's the idea of this type of work. I have mixed a gray tone with anthracynum blue and sepia. This is not yet fully dry, but I want to take advantage of that fact. So we'll see what happens. Let's see if we use it. And let's see. So at this point, what I really want to do is stop, but I want to leave some additional marks. And even drop water. using the very tip of the brush, I'm just creating some lines. And whatever I do in one side, I try to replicate on the other. And I really truly believe that I've done enough. We're going to allow it to dry and then we're going to come in with some Posca pen or maybe the ink, but we'll take it one step at a time and see how we can improve what we've done. Remember, this is non-objective abstraction, so there's nothing here in particular. We're just allowing our feelings to leave our body and go into the paper. Just release tension from our body, just relaxing and creating something that it's not here nor there. It's just something that we need to allow ourselves to express what we're feeling and what we're going through. This is the beauty of this type of exercise. And perhaps you may look at it and think, oh my God, that's horrible. And it might as well be. But the beauty that's here is that we are allowing ourselves to create something that did not exist anywhere else except inside of us. So we are going to be taking a look at this in a few minutes once it's dry. So we're going to allow ourselves some time to be away from it, allow it to dry naturally, and then we're going to come back to it and see what else we can do to it to either improve it or completely destroy it. It really doesn't matter. This is just a freeing exercise to release tension, our emotions, how we feel, and who knows, maybe we find a little jewel in one of these. So this is almost dry, but I wanted to add a few things. So I've mixed that dark gray, bluish gray really. And I'm going to come here I'm going to clean my brush and then I'm going to just pull that color down. So I could make this area darker. And I think I want to do the same over here. Adding circles inside circles. And Let's see. Just go with what you feel. Don't try to think too much or overthink what you're doing. This is almost dry, so this is a dry brush technique. And it's giving a nice texture as well. I'm going to try to get some on this area as well. And we're going to do the same over here. Or try to. Oh, there we go. And I think and right now I really do want to make that gray again and see if we can get this dark to be dark. All right, so right now we need to really fully allow this to dry. So I decided to add this line over here. I don't know why I did it, but I did, so I wanted you to see that. I might even move that around. And let's see over here. It is a transparency, really, what we're doing here. So it does give us a framework, I guess, would be the word, to start seeing the transparencies for what they are, because they are being superimposed on top of the others, which is really nice to see as well. If we add something, nothing happened, so that's okay. I should have done that earlier. And all right, so we have a really mess here, but we're going to work on it and see where it leads us. Hopefully, it's going to be a good ending. Usually, there's a point in every painting that it's the ugly point. So, we're going to think that this is the ugly point, although, to be quite honest, I like what I'm seeing so far. So I'm going to allow it to dry and we'll take it from there. Okay. So this is dry and I am thrilled about that because I really want to see what's going to come out of this. I really have no idea. I might be using the ink after all, but I have to see first what happens. What I want to do is start by working with some of these. And just doodling. A lot of people might do centangles with this. I don't even know how to do a centangle, so I'm not even going to try. Oops. Okay, so that's a lot. Oops. I really do not want to cover everything with lines or dots. I do want to emphasize some of these because I do like the texture that came out of this. So I'm trying to be as simple as possible. That was a scribble. And so this one is the ink. Oops. Trying to use it lightly, but to have some white space and some contrast here. Remember to clean your brush super well once you use that ink because it is ink. And the only one that doesn't have there we go. Just scribbles, that's all I'm doing. And I think we are ready to see what we've got. So let's go for it. So the paper quality it's good, but not my favorite. But for exercises like this, I think it's quite perfect. So here we have it. I think that once you lift the tape off the corners, you are left with something really interesting, obviously very abstract. You have gained something from this. Not only have you released your emotions into paper with something that is completely non-objective, you're not trying to make something that you can recognize. Instead, you're just allowing the colors to work. And I think for this type of exercise, this came out really good. However, you can let me know in the comments whether or not you think this was a success or a fail. You can take this and convert it into something completely different by continuing to use, for example, additional materials. For example, you can add collage if you wanted to. You can use this as a background for a scrapbook, or you can use it as a painting. I really did enjoy doing this. It made me release a lot, and we were able to get really nice textures with the dry brush technique. I did not like this part here, but it's fine. I don't think it looks bad. And of course, we can turn it around and see how the composition works best. What I like about this particular sketchbook, which I didn't tell you what it was, I think it was Be Creative Watercolor sketchbook, and the paper is 100% cotton, so it's good. It doesn't have a lot of texture, and I think that's why I don't like it that much, but it's very, very good paper. As you can see, it hardly buckled. This type of exercise is really great for your sketchbook. You can take it from here, add more embellishment. You can completely continue to add with other materials like color pencils, watercolor pencils, or even watercolor sticks, which I thought about using and I totally forgot. This is working in a series. You can see how you can make something completely different using the same colors and be in a sequence. So this is another benefit from doing this type of exercise. Remember, we started with nothing. We started with a few lines, and then we started working in this abstraction simply by respecting some rules for watercolors. We started light. We created some layers in terms of going over other colors without creating mud. Then towards the end, we started using the darker tones. And then once it was dry, we added some embellishments. But I think that as a practice in itself for watercolor is quite nice. We also did some wet on wet. We did the dry on dry. We did different techniques that really worked great. Again, I love the texture of the dry on dry. I love the brush marks that we got over here. You can take this as far as you want, or you can leave it at this stage, which is what I'm going to do because I really do like it as it is. I did not use the metallic colors, perhaps on the next one, but working in a series is quite easy and simple, and it doesn't allow you to get stuck in one single painting and be frustrated, because if one didn't come out as good as another, you can simply continue moving on. So I think for today, this was a great practice. And I'm sorry, I have everything on me, but I hope you have enjoyed this video. I want to say thank you to everyone for being so patient with me. I really do appreciate that. All my love goes out to you, to each one of you. If you are interested in sharing what you do with me, I have a Facebook group. It is a private one, very safe, and you can share what you do with me and others that are already there. I am going to be linking the Facebook group in the description below and also placing it somewhere on the screen. So if you do something like this, I would love to see it. I would love to see what you do with non-objective art, what I fully call abstraction. We can share thoughts. Everybody is so amazing that I love everything they do. So I'm sure I'm going to love yours as well. So this is the end of the video. Let me know which one of the 4 you like best. I'm going to call this one 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let me know which one you loved best in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It will help me with the algorithm and show my videos to other people like yourself who enjoy abstraction and watercolors. Also, if you are here for the first time or the 100th time and you haven't subscribed yet, please take a moment to do so. I would love to have you with us and also to join our Facebook group. I will be doing some close-ups of these paintings so you can see each one of them. I'm going to add the 1, 2, 3, 4 to them so you know which one to pick. So with that said, I hope this video has been one that can open some ideas for your own work, and you can take it from here. And we'll be coming back to this in other ways and see what we get. But I am really excited that we were able to do this. We came in without any expectations and we got something in the end, which I am very proud of, regardless of whether it's ugly or not. I find it really amazing that we were able to do something that, at the very least, I find interesting and makes me think about it. So, once again, thank you for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. So we've come to the end of the video. Please check out all the links in the description below for the materials I have used and for the Facebook group. And with that said, please take care of yourselves. Please stay safe, be kind to one another, and I will see you on the next one. Until then, bye.